Deep in the heart of the countryside, there stood an old, abandoned church and graveyard. The building was a shadow of its former glory, its walls crumbling and its windows boarded up. The graveyard, once a place of peace and rest, had become a desolate wasteland with broken headstones and withered flowers littering the ground. Legend had it that the church and graveyard were cursed, haunted by the restless souls of the departed. Those who dared to enter the grounds after dark would hear the mournful wails of the spirits, and some claimed to have seen the ghosts of the long-dead wandering amongst the graves. A group of curious adventurers had heard the tales and decided to investigate the claims. They arrived at the churchyard just as the sun began to set, the orange and pink hues of the sky casting an eerie glow over the abandoned graveyard. The group crept through the wrought iron gates, their hearts pounding with a mixture of fear and excitement. As they stepped inside, the air grew still and cold, and the silence was almost suffocating. The graves were weathered and overgrown, and the broken headstones cast ominous shadows on the ground. As they made their way towards the church, they could feel the eyes of the ghosts upon them, their presence palpable in the air. As they approached the entrance to the church, the group heard a faint whispering sound like the rustling of leaves. The sound grew louder and more urgent, and they could make out the mournful cries of the spirits. Inside the church, the group could see the remnants of a once beautiful structure. The stained glass windows were shattered, and the pews were covered in cobwebs and dust. The altar, once the centerpiece of the church, was now little more than a pile of rubble. As they explored the church, the group began to hear strange noises, like the creaking of old bones. The whispers grew louder and more frantic, and soon the group found themselves surrounded by the ghostly figures of the departed. The ghosts were angry and vengeful, and they seemed determined to keep the group trapped within the church. The air was thick with a sense of dread, and the group knew that they were in grave danger. The ghosts began to toy with the group, their spectral forms darting in and out of the shadows. The group was paralyzed with fear, unable to move or speak. They knew that they were doomed, their fate sealed by the wrath of the spirits. As the night wore on, the ghosts grew more and more malevolent, their wails and whispers filling the air with a sense of doom. The group realized that they were trapped within the cursed church and graveyard, with no hope of escape. As dawn broke, the group was found by a search party, their faces etched with fear and horror. They were taken away, but the memory of that terrifying night would stay with them forever. The cursed church and graveyard remained abandoned, its secrets and horrors known only to the restless spirits that haunted its grounds.